Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mythlok with your host, Nitin Nair. In this episode, we are going to be traveling all the way to Asia and looking at a god whose characteristics are not at all common with what is found in Western or even in modern times when it comes to mythology, folklore, tradition, and even belief systems. We are going to be looking at the Filipino god Lakapati, who is associated with transgenders, abundance, and agriculture. Among the deities and wives of Bathala, Lakapati is regarded as the most kind and understanding. She was known for her role as the benevolent giver of prosperity and food. She was also said to have brought fertility to the fields and health of the flock. In ancient times, Lakapati was regarded as a great mother goddess. She was described as a half man and half woman, and some believed that she was a transgender goddess. They prayed for Lakapati's protection from hunger. During a full moon, they would offer a plate of rice to her and would also give her herbs and plants if they needed help. They carried statues and carved figures of the goddess around in order to worship her. Lakapati was depicted as a hermaphrodite, having both male and female genitalia, symbolizing the balance of everything. Her bodily expression is notably feminine. Despite the threats that Spain made, people still continued to revere Lakapati. The small unhusked grain was regarded as her emblem. Lakapati's partner in some myths is Mapulon, the god of seasons, and they give birth to Anagole, the goddess of lost things. In others, she is the consort of Bathala or Abba, the supreme god often depicted as intersex or transgender. They reside in heaven, and in one tale, Lakapati creates the world by giving Bathala a clay and banana blossom ball, which he shapes into seas and mountains and places in the sky to become earth. Other myths portray Lakambakod, god of crops, as Lakapati's partner. Lakapati was also known as Ikapati, which often led to a lot of confusion, as Ikapati was often referred to as a goddess, while Lakapati was known to be androgynous. The goddess Lakapati was an important figure in the ancient culture of the Filipino people, and her name means giver of food. The name Lakapati comes from the words Lakan and Pati, which literally means lord or master. Lakapati was considered to be the giver of food. He or she was also the goddess of fertility and abundance in agriculture. One of the most common ways to please the deity was to offer a plate of rice in the evenings during a full moon. In addition to this, a ceremonial chant was also said while holding up a child as an offering to the goddess, which roughly translated to, "May your servant have enough to eat." Ancient Tagalogs believed that Lakapati would ensure that they are taken care of. The Kambal Tuko or Siamese twins is an important symbol in mythology and is said to represent Lakapati and is referred to as Anting Anting. It is also considered to be a representation of Adam and Eve and is believed to be a fertility talisman for couples. This Anting Anting is very popular among couples who want to have children and are struggling to do so. Some believe that the Kambal Tuko may be a derivation from the Lakapati idol that was presented by the artist Buenaventura to depict the male-female image as a singular entity. This is a strikingly different approach to mythology and gods, where a goddess or god is depicted to be androgynous, a hermaphrodite, or a transgender, or whatever terminology that you wish to use to describe the person. It is not always that a god or a goddess without a traditional gender assigned to them is revered to in that very form. There are other gods out there in various mythologies whose gender is not mentioned, mainly because they are everything omnipotent, and also a gender is something that they created and is not associated with them. However, using terms like transgender, hermaphrodite, gender fluid, which are modern terminology to associate with a particular goddess from mythology, is something that is very distinct to mainly Asian cultures, where they've always understood and also given importance to the whole concept, rather than the West, where it was shunned upon or looked at with suspicion. There are many other gods out there whom we will cover in the future, whose gender identity might not be as crystal clear, but we will give them the equal amount of respect that all traditions have given so far in history, and we hope that tradition continues even going forward today, whether it's a god, a goddess, or just someone like us. Someone's gender identity or how they wish to call themselves really should not define the way that we treat them, as they deserve to be treated with respect regardless of gender. Sorry about getting a little political towards the end, but we at Mythlok believe that if there are examples in mythology where people who are shunned upon today were given the equal amount of respect that they deserve in society, we should make a point about it. Until next time, this is your host Nitin Nair signing out and asking you to hit that like, subscribe, follow button on whichever platform you're listening to. And remember that Mythlok is the home of mythology.